white people. That's why I study y'all, envy y'all. I'm envious of y'all. Y'all are a race. Y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Y'all, you know, y'all are free. Y'all the only race of people that can look at a wild lion and go, I can be friends with that. That's why y'all are always on when animals attack. You will never see black people on when animals attack.
You will not. You will not see me. I can assure you that you will not see me. But
you might see us on when cops attack, but you will never see us on when animals attack. Y'all will do shit like tranquilize a lion and hold that motherfucker till he wake up. And that'd be heavy shit to y'all. Y'all be in the camera. Well, my partner Bob and I.
Why does he have such an accurate impression too?
We've been tracking this particular beast for quite some time. Her name is Utulu. She's 6 months old. We just shot her with 5 cc's of tetracordyline darts. When she gets up, she's gonna be fucking pissed. Oh my God, Bob, you for your heart pounding. This is amazing. Oh my God, she's getting a wow. Oh, she mauled me. What an experience. The Africans don't be out there fucking with the lions. They ask him, Mr. Matumbu, why you don't play with the lion? I'm not fucking with that motherfucker.
Okay, we don't curse. Don't bring us into this. Don't bring us into this. We don't curse. We don't. Before I came to this country, I did not know that kind of language. But
fucker, fuck him and fuck you. That shit is not in the brochure. I'm not doing that shit. When my shift is over, I want to go home to my children, Mangulu, Mungala, and oof, 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 oof. I can't do it fucking with that. When the shit out, you better come, I will leave you.
What kind of names were those? Mungulu, what?
In the car. Is rules. Ain't no African people here, is it? Are you African, dog? My bad.
I'm right here. I am right here. Right here. Look. African.
I want to piss you off and you, motherfucker. You know what's fucked up? African people don't like black people. Oh. Y'all know they treat us.
Yeah, that is the word right there. Don't like. I don't know, man. Are you sure?
You know what's fucked up? African people don't like black people. Y'all know they treat us like shit. They talk down to us. They think they better than us. And I don't understand because we from the same.
Is that true? I've heard that a lot. And again, I'm going to reserve my thoughts on this for now until I finish this, what he's saying. And then I will give you my thoughts on why I think it's kind of true and kind of not. So it's not completely false and it's not completely true either.
Tribe, kind of. But they like white people, though. They treat y'all like family. As soon as y'all come around, they get excited. Excuse me, Mr. White Man. Thank you for bringing us here. We love you. Yay, the white man. As soon as they see us, they get an attitude. Hey, how you doing? This nigga. We don't like the black man in America. Motherfucker, you don't work, you don't do shit.
I will tell you, though, Africans don't really like or hate people based on race. It's usually based on their experience and the amount of information that they have about said person. So if Africans truly do not like black Americans or African Americans, that would not be because simply the African American. There will be something else underneath it. But I don't even think that's the case. Let's get into it. We'll break it down.
We don't like you, you black motherfucker. Like, who are you calling black, motherfucker? I'm brown, you midnight. Who the fuck are you calling black?
Hey.
Like, nigga, if you stood up against a building, you'd look like an alley. Who the fuck are you calling black?
What? That's mean. That's just mean. We're all the same, man. We're all black, man. Nobody's blacker than the other. And by the way, not every body who is from Africa is typically darker. we have some very light-skinned Africans. You know, the Egyptians, the Tunisians, even some Ethiopians. There are a lot of lights, almost white Africans. I mean, in South Africa, they literally have white people. So when you say Africans, are you mean black Africans or Arab Africans or white Africans? Which Africans are you talking about that do not like black people?
This shit is unjust. African men don't understand why when they come to America, they have a hard time getting American pussy. You can't be that aggressive with American women, especially black women. You got to know how to talk. You got to come correct. Motherfuckers in.
I disagree, though. I don't think that we have a hard time. Again, I'm speaking from experience, not from my experience, from a friend's experience. I don't think we have a hard time getting American, whatever that part is. Maybe the Africans you've talked to, but I don't think we have a hard time at all. Usually they rush us.
Africa is used to having their way. They got 15 wives and shit. And African women are very obedient. They tell their women what to do. It's not even an issue. Bitch, when they come home, you... I don't know why they do that.
Well, because we don't do that. We don't talk to our women like that. That's just, we don't talk to our women like that. We don't do that at all. We don't use that kind of language at all.
You better clean this shit from the floor. I don't... They be in the club stalking women out here. You can't even see them. They be as black as my jacket. You just see the yellow of their eyes from a distance. Looking like Congo in the bush. As soon as you go buy your drink, they jump out the shadows and scare the shit out you. Bitch, what is your name? Come here. Don't run from me. You're going to be my wife. Monaya, Monaya.
See, the blow dart thing, they keep doing the blow dart thing, but I've never, ever touched a blow dart in my life. Ever. And I wish somebody would buy it for me so that I can actually live up to the stereotype. So that I can actually do a blow dart at somebody. Because I've never had a blow dart at all. Talk less of used one. So, but yeah, that was that. Let's see. All right. Now we're gonna go into the next video. This one. So that's not true. We don't think that we're better. I mean, some people might. Okay, I didn't want to get into this, but let's get into it. So, when Africans come here, when I came here, my very first time of coming to America, before coming here, the only experience we have with black Americans is from the movies, right? And pop culture, rap, hip hop, and all whatnot. And the only way black Americans are portrayed in the media is negatively, right? It's always drugs. It's always, even in the movies, they always give them the villain parts or, the drug dealer parts. So like, this is not something that, we just manufacture, right? And then when you get over here, they tell you, and when I say they, you know who I mean. Stay away from those people, and you don't know any better until you actually get to know those people. But again, with the blow dart thing, never touched the blow dart before. A lot of Africans haven't either. Not all of us are hunter gatherers, okay? Did you want them to cook it alive? You gotta kill it, right? You can't cook it alive. Gotta kill it. How monkey ASS smells like. Why do you know? I know what he's about to talk about already. So, a lot of Africans that grew up in the rural areas. For example, me, when I grew up, a little town, we don't have a culture of using deodorant until you get maybe to like the university or something, and you go out to the cities. But usually there's not a culture of using a lot of deodorant, right? And even then, even those that do, you work a lot under the sun, you trek everywhere, you walk everywhere. There's no you're not driving much, and so you do sweat a lot. So you're always having some kind of, but we don't notice it because everybody has some slight. Again, the only reason I noticed is because when I came here and I went back a few years later, now I was like, ooh. But when we come over here, the very first 2 weeks, I think, it takes a while for us to adjust to be like, oh, okay, I need to put on deodorant every single day, because when I sweat, I'm gonna smell. When you sweat, you're gonna smell. It doesn't matter who you are. And it's not just Africans. There's a lot of people that don't look like me that I've worked with, and I'm like, bro, you gotta put on deodorant. And yeah, it's again, it happens to Indians too. I mean, you come around a lot of Indians, they have certain, I don't know, body lotions, whatever they use, and when they first come over here, the smell is bad. But there's nothing wrong with that. Eventually, you're gonna adapt. It's the American dream, right? Struggle is real, man, and it's not an African thing. It's a black thing. Being ashy, you just gotta put the body lotion on. Body lotion, body lotion, body lotion. Oh, that's so accurate too. Just the depiction of the white person. So before he does the redneck thing, I just want to remind you, we are going to go into exactly the why Africans hate African Americans, if at all they do. So we'll go into it, right? I'll give you my perspective on what I think and whether or not they actually do hate black people, and if they do, why? And if they don't, why not? And why have we been led to believe that was the case? So we're going to get to it. I just wanted to start off on a light note of just ease into it a little bit. All right. So right now we're going to go into the African's perspective, right? When we're going to talk to some Africans, there's going to be Nigerians, and then we'll have South Africans, and we'll see what Africans think about black people, actual Africans living in Africa. I'm not talking about the Africans here in America. I want to see if there's something that changes when we come over here, or does this hate start from back home and come over? Again, I'm going to hear from other Africans first, because my own perspective is very unique, and as crazy as it could sound, that's how I feel. So let's hear other people first, and then we'll get into what I think about it. So let's get into the very next one.
Kunle's name, what's your name?
David Shegun.
Amira.
I'm Jeffrey.
Mofe Oluwa.
Kelvin.
Chima. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Connect Slug TV, where we create entertainment videos about Africa and the world. In today's video, we'll be asking Africans, we'll be asking Nigerians what they think about African Americans. This video is inspired by Shannon Sharp's blog, Sheshe, featuring comedian Godfrey. We want to know your thoughts about African Americans in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Let's eat the street of Nigeria. What do you think about African Americans? What can you say about them?
Well, African American, I think,
before they get going, I think I need to watch that Shannon Sharp. I didn't know they made a video, so I'll have to find that and watch. We'll do that next. I'm interested to hear what Shannon Sharp had to say about this topic.
kind of a special breed because, for one, they cut across culture. That's the African culture and the American culture. So sometimes I think some of them sometimes kind of overdo the American thing, forgetting.
What is the American thing? They are Americans. What I don't know what he means by the American thing. They are Americans. They're not overdoing. The people that overdo are Africans that come in here, and in about 6-7 months, then they're trying to code switch and develop an accent and overdo. Those are the people that overdo, right? You can't tell people that they're overdoing themselves. That's not. But I get what he means, but he didn't phrase it right.
Africa is home actually, you know. So, but generally, I think African Americans are a very cool set of people. You know, they're taking over. They're really doing well.
They're doing well. How can African Americans and Africans bridge the gap between them?
Okay, as regards bridging the gap, I think the aspect that has to do with bridging the gap is a cultural thing. So I think the African Americans need to learn or know more about the African culture, how we do things over here. Then
I wouldn't say they need to per se, because again, African Americans have developed a culture over time that is, is their own culture. And so there's never a need to learn anybody else's culture. It's a choice. You can learn it if you want, but I wouldn't say they need to. Like there are some African Americans that move over to Ghana, South Africa, Kenya, and settle there and learn the culture by choice. That's perfectly fine. But I don't think that they need to. I don't think that is some kind of necessity, because their culture is just fine.
look at how they can actually integrate that into their everyday American life, because that's the life they are exposed and more used to. But I think they need to know more about Africa and the things that actually hold.
Well, Americans in general need to know more about a lot of things. Americans in general need to know more about geography. Just like it's not just Black Americans. Americans in general need to know more about Africa. Like, it's not a country. It has 54 countries. I'm not sure though. I'm gonna fact check myself. Well, anyways, this is live, so I can't take it back.
Hold sway here.
I know they like rap. I know they dress well. I like most of their dresses. I model some of my dresses after theirs. Um,
That's something interesting that he just said, that he models most of his dressing after how African Americans dress. A lot of African Americans do not know how much influence the African American culture had on or has had over the years on Africans. I remember, back in like 2003, 2002, and the days of 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, all these people, we would dress up with durags. We didn't even know what durags were for, but we would dress up with durags, big, like huge basketball jersey, baggy jeans, and all the sneakers. All of those we saw in the rap videos, the hip hop videos, the movies, and we were like, oh, that's cool. Nobody had to tell us that it was cool. You look at it and you're like, okay, that is cool. Like, African Americans have this unique thing where they can take anything, no matter how mundane it is, and turn it and make it cool. Doesn't matter what it is. People can be doing it for years, and then when African Americans take a hold of it, they will make it cool. Everything, literally anything, they will make it cool.
yeah, I know the slavery. There's a slavery. What's the word I'm looking for? Complex. The Black Americans and that Black Americans have. But I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a Black American, I don't have that. I don't see what the big deal is. I feel like I can walk away from a racist comment and I won't feel hurt by it. But the Black Americans will feel hurt. Yeah, yeah. When the white American says nigger, they go all mad. And I wonder.
And he's not alone. Many Africans don't understand the offense behind the word. And again, the reason they don't understand it is because, again, they have a different lived experience, right? You don't grow up in an African country and get discriminated on based on your race alone. There are other forms of discrimination. I mean, a lot more than even in the U.S., like discrimination based on your tribe, based on the language that you speak, based on the levels of education, there's different kinds of discrimination, but none of them is ever about race. And so when you don't grow up around that, you tend to not understand, people that have grown up in an environment where their ancestors were property, and their fathers and grandfathers were treated as second-class citizens, less than human. and such certain words were used when in an attempt to degrade them, and those words, whenever they hear them, those are the kind of memories that it triggers. It will not trigger. Look at that! What I did there triggers. It can't trigger the same reaction or emotion in you, because again, you don't have that lived experience. So it's the same reason. It's the same thing like with an African. You want to piss an African off, like say something about your mother. That's how you piss an African off. So think about why you feel that way when somebody says something about your mother.
What the whole thing is, just a word, but yeah, okay, I get it. I know Barack Obama was a black American, first black American president.
Barack Obama was mixed, half and half, mixed. I don't know why the white people do not claim him too. Mixed, half and half. But in America, if you're not 100% white, you're not white. I don't get the fascination with. I don't get it. Like, people, the race thing in America baffles me. It will always baffle me. I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever.
Personally, I don't think there's a gap between on our side, on the African side. I don't think there's a gap, because yeah, we don't feel inferior to them. I think they have to, become more welcoming. They seem to be a little bit proud, and we don't understand where it's from, But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Wow, okay. Yeah. So what do you think about African Americans? What do you think about them?
African Americans, I think they're pretty cool. I mean, they are.
There you go. That summarizes it all. Pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Most of them.
Africans that went to America now.
Obviously, like maybe they are descendants.
Yeah, and they've been there for a while. I think they're pretty cool. They like a lot of African things, and they are cool. Yeah, I think they're cool.
They are cool. Okay, what about you? What do you think about African Americans?
Well,
so yeah, I mean, that's the general consensus. This is the majority of the regular everyday person in any African country. They look up to whatever they see in the movies and be like, okay, that is cool. That guy is cool. Or look at that man, he's cool. That's how we see them, or y'all, or whoever is watching.
Like I've seen quite a number of them, and not seen, but maybe movies and they're depicted in a particular way.
What kind of way?
Their accent, you know them by their accent. Yes, the way they speak is different from typical Americans. I don't know much about their origin.
I think he's talking about Ebonics, just the AAVE, African American vernacular, and the Ebonics, just the way the black man in America has done something with the English language that is just fascinating. It takes like 5 sentences and summarizes them into one. Like, I mean, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, just, I can't talk like that. I haven't tried. I don't want to try, because with my accent, it will just never go. And I'm not good at learning accents, so I can't talk like that. But it's pretty cool when people talk like that.
Or anything, but there are lots of them that are in over there.
How can African Americans and Africans bridge the gap between them?
I think there has to be a lot of understanding, and so there's this thing of discrimination in America, maybe for African Americans or for Africans. But I think we're really working on it in our culture these days. People are talking about the fact that Black Lives Matter and all of that. So let's just keep it up. Let's keep up the unity and saying that we're all one. We're just humans, irrespective of the color of our skin.
Good. Okay. What about you?
See, spitting fact right there. We're all human, irrespective of the colors of our skin. So. Yeah.
How can we bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans?
For the African Americans, a lot of them grew up in that society. And they include people in diaspora, people living over there. So they grew up in that society. It's going to be very difficult for them to relate to this society also.
The African society.
The African society, and because there are some issues that are peculiar to Africans. There are some issues, so they won't be able to relate in that aspect. Well, most of them, I believe, they see themselves, that's the African Americans, see themselves as part of the American society. So in this case, developed world.
I mean, they are part of the American society. They do live in the developed world. It's not a matter of how they see themselves. They are part of so that's
So it's going to be very difficult, in my opinion.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I want to add to that.
Okay.
I think they can immerse in culture more. That's if you're trying to bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans, right? They can immerse in the culture the way they do. And what is culture? Food, music, our weddings. They can keep it up, keep cooking their mala.
like I said before. Again, they can if they want to, but it is not a necessity. Again, African Americans have a culture, right? Their primary cultures were stripped away from them during the transatlantic slave trade, and over the years they merged the different bits and pieces of the culture that they still had into one unique culture that they have now. And there's no reason to try to learn another one. If you feel like you want to learn another culture, is perfectly fine, but I don't think that it needs to.
I keep listening to
The African Afrobeat.
exactly,
Yeah, my piano.
exactly.
What do you think about?
And African Americans are gradually getting into African music, though. I've seen a lot of them, vibing to African songs. Again, when you play African music, everybody that has any kind of melanin in them is going to resonate with it, whether they understand the language or not. Same thing that happened to hip hop. I grew up in a typical African home. The first time I heard 50 Cent in the club, I did not know what he was saying. I couldn't understand, AAVE, the African American vernacular, and even the accent. But still, the music was vibing. I was like, I was like, yeah, man, that's hitting hard. Go, 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 shawty, it's your bird. And man, it's like that's how you know that the cultures are still connected, because when you hear songs like that spread like wildfire. Africans could, like, Michael Jackson was a huge icon in Africa, and there was no internet back then in Africa, anyways, in most of Africa back in 1990, 2000, like up to like 2003. We didn't have much of any internet, and yet we would consume American music. We would listen to boy bands. And so, I mean,
About African Americans, what can you say about them?
Okay. Well, my perception of African Americans, from what we see online and things we see in movies, I feel like they feel like they are superior to we Africans who reside there and who grew
Wow.
from Africa. Yeah, they feel like they are superior. They don't. They most times don't want to associate.
and that's the same thing they say about us, right? We think we're superior. So it's, again, that's where this argument is. I guess the debate is. It's like, who hates who? Because African Americans will say, oh, Africans, they come over here and they think they're better than us, and that's you in Africa saying, oh, African Americans think they're better than you. So how do we bridge the gap? Like, we'll get to that. I will give you my own perspective.
But I found out that recently, there has been a lot of noise going around Nigeria. A lot of people are wanting to visit Nigeria and stuff, and they are beginning to want to relate. If you look at our national team, you find like a number of whites, half Nigerian, trying to get into the team. So, well, basically, I think they are cool. They are cool people, but yeah.
African Americans are nice people. They are good to be with. Just that there are wrong narratives.
Like what?
My brother, how many have you been with? I'm not disagreeing, but how many have you been with? The way I talk here, I don't think that you have ever been with anyone. But
It's like what?
Them being gangsters,
Gangsters
and thieves.
and thieves.
see, I told you, that's what the movie shows us, right? That's what a typical African living in Africa, in any African country, will see. is what the movies are showing. They depict African Americans as gangsters, drug lords, people in prison, because those are the parts that they are given in the movies, and that's what we see. Them like that's the only image of. It's just like me when I was coming over here. I was picturing America. I was picturing New York, California, because that's where I see. That's what I see in the movies. And so when I go to a state where I don't see those skyscrapers, I don't see all that, I'm like, this looks just like back home. I'm like, bro, we have buildings just like this. This is not the America that I saw in the movies. But yeah, that's.
Yeah. So, but I'm very sure that that's a very wrong narrative that's been spread around. Americans, they are very nice people, and when you see, they are more of like successful Black Americans. Yeah. It's going to be a very difficult task to bridge that gap.
You think so?
Yeah, it's going to be, because
Why do you feel so?
I feel like they have to be in Africa to like have little experience about the African lifestyle before they can understand. Because even they themselves, they are told that Africa is poor, Africa is this, Africa is that. So like fake media is just so rampant.
What the media shows us about Africa and what they see about Africa over there.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about what the media chooses to show. The media chooses to show certain things about African Americans and chooses to show certain things about Africans, right? And so, how many Americans think we live in huts back home and we have flies everywhere and we don't have food? I mean, in every black home, they would literally be telling their kids, hey, you got to finish your food because there are kids in Africa that don't have food. I am one of those kids. I grew up in Africa. I always had food. Always. So, I mean, I'm not saying that we don't have kids somewhere that do not have food, but so do we have those in America too. We have homeless people in America too. We have homeless people in the UK too. We have homeless people in France. We have kids everywhere that are suffering. It's not an African thing.
Exactly.
What do you think about African Americans? What can you say about them?
African Americans are, from my own knowledge, migrants or people that had origins in Africa, that maybe by way of slavery or by way of birth, they grew up in
My brother be saying this thing clear. Our ancestors sold their brothers and sisters to the white man. This is saying it clear as it happened. This is not something that they were not kidnapped. They were sold by our chiefs in exchange for mirrors and alcohol and little things. Those our chiefs are the people that cause everything.
in America and now are citizens there, and most of them, based on when their forefathers, migrated to America, have now become indigenous of America. So African Americans are basically Americans who have their origins from Africa. Basically, African Americans, if you see them, they are very dynamic, both in perception, both in their doings, both in their clothing, in their speech, in short, their general outlook, their general way of life. They don't see things the same way a typical white man will see things. So, and that has also made that has informed what has informed that is as a result of their African traits.
This guy is so loud. I had to literally reduce the volume. This guy is loud. And it's very typical of Nigerians anyways. I don't know why I'm acting shocked. Nigerians are generally loud people. I'm sure that I've been destroying your ears so far.
That is why most times when you see African Americans, the same way they behave is the same way we Africans behave. But the only thing is just that you see them, they grew there, all their life has been there, and everything that they do is there. Okay, so the basic thing is, if you know your origin, it gives you a different perception about you. We see a lot of people like Idris Elba. We see a lot of
Idris Elba is not African American. He's British American. This is I think they had to be very precise when they're asking these questions and let them know they're talking about black people in America, not black people in the diaspora, not British Americans, not Jamaican Americans. They're talking about African Americans. Idris Elba is not African American. He's British American.
Big celebrities who are African, who have African origin, coming back. Even Beyonce at the point had to, affiliate or, how will I put it now? Try to, have this relationship with
Africans.
Africa. So basically, once you start coming back home, your mindset changes. You know that there is actually no difference between you and a typical African. Than the old way of people seeing things, that whenever you see Africa, what you are seeing is maybe Sahara village, poor people. You understand? But it's not like that. It's not like that. So a lot of things are changing. A typical example is religion. They brought religion into Africa, but today,
Who's they? You have to be precise, oh my brother. Don't be throwing things out there. Who is they? Who is they? Tell us who they is. Are you afraid?
Africans are the ones championing religion. Africans are the ones setting the pace.
No, you're talking about Christianity, and not only Christianity, but aggressive end time Christianity. That's what Africans are championing. That this is not the same Christianity that the white man brought. We have changed it into something completely different. We have made it a business. We have turned it into mega pastors begging for money. It's not the same thing. I have gone to churches here. They're not the same kind of churches.
Africans are the ones setting standards for them. They no longer have standard in religion. It is basically Africans that are now. If you look at most of these churches and the ministries and foundation, they all have their headquarters in Africa. Wow. Now going back to save Americans and other parts of.
And when they say Africa right here, he means Nigeria, really, because that's where every single church is. I mean, the streets in Nigeria that have multiple churches. From A to Z, you can name a church starting with each letter of the alphabet.
Europe. Wow, you understand? So basically, Africa, the best way to bridge the gap is first of all understanding your relation, your background. Trying to understand where are you coming from. Once you know this is where you are coming from, there is a way of tracing your pedigree. Once you are able to trace your pedigree,
leave it to a Nigerian to insert a random big word that he learned in there to trace your pedigree. There's a way to trace your pedigree.
I can assure you that you will know that Africans, because of the fact that they are here, they are not separate, they are not.
Bro, Africans, I tell you, Africans and English language is like it's either you see one that cannot speak it at all, or you see the one that thinks that they know it better than everybody and just uses like the biggest words ever. Like imagine your effrontery. Imagine the Otomanganata. They will be making up words. Imagine the Kagagoga pedagogy that sympathizes a philampeli kaliwa for punctual mendacity. My alumentum is highly punctuated with alumanquatic ingredients. God.
Things they are not totally different from you, an African American. You understand? You all share the same traits. The only difference is where did you grow up?
Where did you grow up?
Background.
So guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed this one too. See you on the next one.
All right. So before we get into the next one, the next one is going to be South Africans giving their own their thoughts about what they think about African Americans, right? And the South African perspective is kind of unique because South Africa is almost as diverse as the United States, right? So the all kinds of races of people there. But before we get into it, let me give you a little bit of my perspective. So, as an African immigrant, I do believe that there are some Africans living in the United States that don't care much for black people. And here's why. So, coming here, most Africans are coming here to hustle, right? They're coming here to make money. And when coming, they're told by whoever is sponsoring them, hey, stay away from certain kind of people, and they will name them for you. And when they come in here, they tend to initially stay in like lower income neighborhoods, like maybe for the first year. And so usually the kind of black people that they meet are the ones in the lower income the lower income neighborhoods. And in those same neighborhoods, there are also white people, but everybody in that neighborhood tends to have a certain kind of culture, which is not very comfortable to the African. And so they tend to try to work hard to move out and live in a more affluent neighborhood, which typically is habited by mostly, people of less melanin concentration. And so that tends to give them certain impressions. And also, if they come in contact with certain African Americans who make jokes, call them African booty scratchers, make fun of your accent and things like that, you tend to build that animosity over time, right? So like when I came into this country, I didn't have any ill intentions towards black people at all, because again, I grew up watching a lot of black movies, right? All of them. Like I'm in love with the church girl. I watched all of them. Like Coming to America. I watched. I can't start thinking of all of them right now, but Let It Shine. Everybody Hates Chris. All of those I watch. All like you can think of it. I watched it. But when I was coming here on the plane, I sat next to this white woman when after my connecting flight from Addis Ababa, and we picked up conversation, and we started talking. She was very, very nice lady, very nice lady. About an hour or so before we landed in DC, she said, "Hey, when you come in here, mind who you hang around with." And I was like, yeah, I'm coming in here to hustle and everything, so I'm not going to. She's like, yeah, but like not everybody who looks like you is good for you. This is what she said. Not everybody that looks like you is good for you. And I was like, thought about it. I'm like, why are you telling me this? Right? And imagine if people say this to all the Africans that come in, then imagine the kind of mentality that they come in with, right? And I'm not saying not all African Americans are great people. Not all Africans are great people. Not all white people are great people. But that's just a human nature. We're inherently flawed, right? And if we keep trying to find instances of where one African was hating on a black person, or where a black person was hating on an African, we're going to find them. But that should not define what the general relationship is. We just watched a video of Nigerians giving their genuine thoughts about African Americans, and none of them said a single negative thing. All they said was, hey, these people are really cool. We really want to work on bridging the gap and getting to know each other better. It's like two long lost brothers or lovers that are trying to come back together. Sorry, I know I speak a little bit fast, but I'm working on it to try to slow down. So let's go into the next video. And
I just think they're very violent.
so this is, again, I told you, South Africa has a little bit more different perspectives on this one. So just look at, that's the first thing that somebody said was, I think they're very violent. And this is coming from the movies. The movies, I'm telling you, the media and the movies are terrible for both of us, both Africans and African Americans, because it portrays Africans in a terrible light to African Americans and vice versa.
Peace, real family. I truly hope all is well. Today I'll be walking.
If you're watching, drop your comments so I know you're watching, and I can, reply you or shout you out. I see you, Bezalel Israel. I see you. And you can also drop ideas of anything that you want me to. If you look at my videos on my channel, you see that I'm trying to start doing like reactions or whatever, but I'm not really good at this.
Around Santa City Mall and asking Africans what do they think about Black Americans. Part 2. You asked for it. Here we go. So what's your name?
Embassy.
Embassy.
Yes.
I like.
What? His name is Embassy. This man, his name is Embassy. Like American Embassy. Embassy. Africans will name children. I'm telling you. Nigerians, You see, you go in and people are named Precious, Courage, Desperate. Embassy, that's somebody's name.
So, Embassy, tell me, what are your thoughts about Black Americans? Have you interacted with many Black Americans before?
Yeah, not many of them, but I've given quite a number of Black Americans some leads around.
It's probably Zambia.
Yeah, I think they're good people.
This man is probably from
Think they're good people? Talking to the mic, Embassy.
That accent is either from Zambia or Zimbabwe. He's not South African. I don't think he is.
Think they're good people?
Yeah, they are, because most of them that I've driven with, we had a chat, you know.
Had a nice chat.
Yeah, because some people just jump in the back seat and that's
yeah,
their phones and everything. But with Black Americans that I've interacted with, I think that's interesting. They have a lot to share.
We have a lot to share. Were you born and raised here in South Africa?
No, I'm Zimbabwean.
You from Zimbabwe? Okay. Most of
I called it Zimbabwe. He's from Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe's country. Called it.
my Uber drivers are from Zimbabwe. All right. Well, thank you so much. First, tell us your name.
Spongani.
Spongani?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
Can I marry one?
Can you marry one? Who you trying to marry?
A sister.
A sister?
Yeah.
I'm glad you ain't say a brother. I would have been worried about you. Okay.
Please don't say a brother. These people, Africans don't play with. I mean, anyways, it is South Africa. South Africa is a little bit more open. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, well, hopefully you'll find you a nice sister. But what do you think about character-wise? What do you think about Black Americans?
They're okay. Fun people. Nice to hang around with, you know, and talk and all that stuff. Yeah, just to share the different cultures and all that.
Okay, and why do you want to marry one? What you trying to do with
the visa? This my brother is looking for a visa. Can you not see through it? This guy is looking for a visa. My brother is looking for greener pastures. I asked him why he's wanting to marry one. It's for a greener pastures. Green card rhyme is right there in the name. Green card, green pastures. It's right there in the name.
South African women, they're all about money.
South African women are all about money?
Yeah, and sometimes.
Wait, and you think African American women are not? That's a woman thing. That's not a South African. Oh, I don't think I can say that. All right, let me move on from that.
Just to try something new, you know.
To try something new?
Like I said, to
go to a Japanese restaurant. If you want to try something new.
experience the different cultures, you know.
Okay, well, thank you for your honesty.
Right.
Tell me your name.
I'm Lorato.
Huh? Lorato. Okay, so you said you...
Lorato. I'm Lorato. Lorato.
never had any interaction
She has really nice teeth.
with Black Americans.
Yes.
But tell me, what are your thoughts based on the media and what you may hear about them?
So I think it's full of both. Some people say they're nice people, friendly. Some beg to differ. So I just think you need to be in a setting with them where you can actually interact and maybe better know what to say.
Thank you, gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
My name is Silo.
Silo?
Yes.
What do you think about Black Americans?
Black Americans. What do I think about Black Americans?
I mean, I'm looking at them grills in your mouth. Looking at the little gold in your mouth. What's up? Don't act like you ain't.
I told you guys, Africans have adopted a lot of American culture. Look at the grills thing. That's not an African thing. That's an African American thing. It's an American thing in general, but that's it right there. So Africans do admire a lot of the African American culture. I've spoken with Black people in America who say, "Oh yeah, we don't have a culture. Our cultures were stripped from us." I'm like, what? Do you know how rich of a culture you have now? That everybody around the world is trying to copy you. Everybody around the world is trying to copy African Americans, white people, Indian people, everybody, because African Americans have this thing where they can take a mundane thing, anything, and make it cool. Like that. Like the grills. Like, it probably used to just be that people were trying to fix their messed up teeth. And now African Americans took it and made it cool. Now it's cool to have grills.
Yeah, act like you ain't influenced. You know?
Black Americans, they're good people.
They're good people.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Were you born and raised here in South Africa?
Yes, I'm from here, South Africa.
Okay, that's what's up. Now look at me. You better make that shake right, sir. I don't want all that milk in it. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Tell me your name.
I'm Vitalis.
Vitalis?
Hi, That's a Nigerian. You don't even have to tell me. Vitalis. I am Vitalis. That's an Igbo man right there. I am Vitalis. Nigerians are confident when introducing themselves. They are not joking. I am Vitalis. Vitalis is me. I am Vitalis. And they'll give you that laugh too. Let me see if he gives the laugh.
Yeah. So you are Nigerian?
Yeah, I'm a Nigerian.
And you're here in South Africa enjoying the weather?
Living here in South Africa.
Oh, you live here in South Africa?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
Oh, they are good.
They are good?
He was quick with it. That man was quick with it. That's a genuine answer right there. He was quick. He didn't think about it at all. He's probably had some kind of first-hand experience, either with kids, being in America, or just him. He's probably traveled. He's a businessman or something like that. He's probably had some good experiences, because that seemed to be genuine right there from the heart.
My sister told me about them.
She's
actually staying in Florida.
In Florida? I'm from Florida.
You're from
Yeah.
Florida?
From Florida.
Even my junior one, my immediate junior brother, is in Florida also.
Okay, well that's what's up. Well, thank you so much. What are your thoughts about Black Americans?
They're cool. I work in retail, so one thing I very much know is they wear big sizes, which...
What? We all wear big sizes, huh? Is that a thing that only African Americans do? Like, do you guys just have bigger feet? Oh wait, maybe he's not talking about feet. Let me hear what sizes of what?
Yeah, we don't in Africa. So
That's not true. What do you mean we don't in Africa? Yeah, we do. Size does not have anything to do with location. Okay.
Yeah, they wear big sizes?
Shoe sizes, yeah.
Oh,
They get to
I am glad you specified shoe sizes. I am very happy you did that.
Size 14, sometimes even 15.
Okay.
And we in South Africa, we go up to size 12. So yeah.
All right. Well,
that's the main thing.
So, what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
I like the music, that's for sure.
You said you love the music.
like the music.
You like the music.
Bro, who does not like the music? Who does not like when people say American music? Nobody's thinking country music. Nobody's thinking when somebody says American music, anybody that is not born in America is thinking, hip hop. Is thinking R&B. Like or jazz. Nobody's thinking so that.
So have you ever had any interactions with Black Americans?
No.
No.
But
This is your first one. This is like a first one.
Okay. So now, who's your favorite artist? You said you love the music. Who's your favorite Black American artist?
Just watch. He's going to say somebody that is not American. Somebody that is maybe British. Just like the other person said Idris Elba and thought that was African American. Because a lot of Africans, any black person that is not born in Africa, for them that's African American. Even if they're British, even if they're Jamaican.
Say Tupac? What'd you say?
No.
He did say Tupac.
No, it's Drake.
Drake? Oh, give me.
Drake? See, I got it. He said Drake. He said Drake. Drake is Canadian. Drake, and even if he was American, why would that be the person that you would go to? Oh, God, man, brother, you're failing us. You're failing us.
Give me the mic.
He is Canadian.
Big show face. What's your name?
My name is Chuluelo from South Africa.
From South Africa. What part of South Africa?
Usually I'm from the north side, the northern Cape side.
He said usually. Wait, did he say usually I'm from the north side? Usually? Then not usually. Where are you from? Like, what does that even mean, usually? Let me go back. I don't think I heard him right. He said usually?
Your face. What's your name?
My name is Chuluelo from South Africa.
From South Africa. What part of South Africa?
Usually I'm from the north side, the northern Cape side.
The northern Cape
the
side?
big hole. When you go to the mineral side, the diamonds, everything is there in Kimberley. It's a city.
I can assure you this man sings in a choir. I just look at him and I can tell you the vocal cords. He sings in a choir.
It's called Kimberley?
It's called Kimberley.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
I've never heard about Black Americans. All I know is we are all Africans.
You have never heard about Black Americans? Have you been living under a stone? What?
Africans, because when you call it Chinese in Africa, you're going to call him a Chinese. What I want to say about my piece in Africa, all Africans is they need to come back to Africa. Come to learn the cultural roots and what is.
Okay, again, they don't need to. If they want to, they should. They can, but they don't need to.
So we need to come back as
Yeah,
Black
you need to
Americans.
come back. Come back to Africa. Yeah, about the heritage side, what happens in Africa.
Okay.
We have a big continent that's big with resources, big with culture, big with everything. If those guys who went away from Africa, they need to come back because we need their skills, their exploitation, their investment, so Africa can rise from where it's been because we'll be too much our minerals will being exploited from outside. So we need Africans to stand together and come together so we can fix Mother Africa and change our education system. We're supposed to know who we are.
This man is spitting facts, man. Man is spitting. They're exploiting our resources, and we need all of us together to stand up against the status quo. That's not what he said, but that's the gist of it.
Not they told us, because we are rich in religion, rich in spirituality, and we all need to connect as one face because when you divide Africa, we are more population. Our kids and our future need to be protected for the investment of their future. So those who have been away, they must come back home so we can give them land, give us expertise, and come and teach us how to farm our land, graze our land, and maybe we can share food for everyone.
Thank you so much. So do you have a favorite African American or Black American artist or music?
Everything started in Africa. You can call it hip hop, you can call it rap, but they're sort of be doing their thing. They're trying to be doing the same thing.
Okay. Now, I would have to tell you as a Black American woman that we do have our own Black American culture when it comes to music. There may have been, I think there are some Black American culture or music or artists that you may not know, and that's okay because I know you said you're not very familiar. But I do appreciate you and the passion that you have and just the...
I mean, you're right, but I don't think that you understood what he was trying to say. He's trying to say, regardless of what the culture is now, he's trying to say that it's all originated from Africa, which it is. But he also is not very exposed, so he probably doesn't know any American artists at all, not only Black.
Words of inspiration and positivity and love and just unity. I really appreciate that. From Zimbabwe? Okay, wonderful. And your name?
I'm Chidiwa Basil. So, Chidiwa Basil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about Black America? You said you had something to say. What do you have to say?
Yeah, so not necessarily Black Americans per se, but they include in the mix. I've been seeing a lot of plates from Thanksgiving.
Oh, no, he did. Do you have pressure about our low vibrational Thanksgiving plates?
Some horrendous stuff I've been seeing there. Can't believe you guys eat like that.
What if I mean...
What do you mean by eat like that? Is it too much? Is it a lot of food? What do you mean eat like that?
I'm mostly plant-based. I don't even eat most of that, and I haven't celebrated yesterday, but I mean, I did grow up on that, being a Black American. Yes, collard greens and cornbread and ham hocks and
I think I saw, was it spinach mixed with
no, those are collard green. Those are collards. They're not spinach. That's the thing. They're collard greens.
Yeah, I mean, but whatever it is, it didn't look that great, to be honest.
This man is out here hating on the food. This man out here hating on the food, man. Man, you gotta let them have their food. Let them have their food, man. It's good. You gotta try some of that soul food. It's going to touch your soul. It will touch your soul. I can assure you.
Black people, you need to cook better.
Oh no!
What? Shots fire! Pow, pow, pow!
No, give it a bite. Well, first, you at least got to give me a name. What's your name?
Anani.
Anani, are you also, where are you from as well?
I'm from Zim, yeah.
Zim? Okay, well, nice to meet you. So you don't like our low vibrational Thanksgiving plates from Black America?
They're not that appetizing, eh? I wouldn't eat that.
You know what? Well, thank you. I appreciate your honesty.
So this is just, it's the thing about, again, not, it's difficult to like something you don't know. I was like that until I came to America and I tried. The first burger I had was from Five Guys, and I kid you not, it changed my life. Before that, I was like, I don't want to eat that burger. It looks unhealthy. It is unhealthy. But it tastes amazing. I mean, it literally melted my soul. I was like, wow, I've been missing out on this feeling. I mean, some of those foods, the first time I went to a Black, cookout, and I had some of the oh my goodness. So these guys are just hating because they haven't seen it before. They haven't tasted it. If they taste some of that food, some of that cornbread, oh, man, some of that mac and cheese. I'd never had mac and cheese before I came here. Some of that, man, potato pie. Oh.
Hi, gorgeous.
Hi, my name is Hulele Barnes. I am from the
Hulele what? Hulele what?
east of Johannesburg.
Oh, the east of Johannesburg.
Sorry.
So tell me, what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
She's really, really clean. Her skin is very, very smooth.
Love them. But
Oh, that's a butt. That's a butt from the smooth skin lady. Tell us what your butt is. Your butt. Nigerians will say butt. But what?
I just think you guys sometimes, this is based off of like Black Twitter.
Okay.
Sometimes
What is Black Twitter anyways? When I first heard Black Twitter, I thought it was like a different app. And I was like searching to download Black Twitter. I didn't say I was smart.
guys may maybe think you're somewhat better than us. I just think sometimes you guys think you're better than us based off of, obviously you guys are more privileged than, the average.
Not necessarily. Again, not all of them. I've seen African Americans that I grew up more privileged than. I'm not even talking about my current status, like just me in Africa having 3 square meals a day. I've seen people here that don't have 3 square meals a day. So not necessarily. I don't believe in all of that. Like everybody has an individual journey. We're all running different races, and it's difficult to generalize because we all have different lived experiences.
That's my only thing really. It's just thinking a bit, but really.
And you said that's based off of your interaction or Twitter?
Based off, obviously, I haven't interacted.
You haven't interacted very much?
Based off of Twitter, but also with Twitter.
How will you base your information off of Twitter? Like, the only thing worse than Facebook is Twitter. Like, when I hear people say I did my research and it was on Facebook, I'm like, okay, that's terrible. But Twitter, bro, that's where people go to hate. Like, if you're trying to hate somebody, that's where you go, Twitter. And you're giving information based on Twitter, bro, you're failing us.
I understand that it's banter sometimes, with the lace and it's a better than your silly things. Yeah. But I just think generally based off of that overall, you guys sometimes.
Well, I'm sorry that's the perception you have. I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry for anybody who may come off that way. We all been through a lot of the same struggles, especially Black Americans and the Black South Africans. Yeah. So there is no reason for anybody to feel like they're better than anybody else. So
I was not expecting these answers from South Africa because, again, Black South Africans have a close enough relation with the struggle of Black Americans that I felt like the answers that were coming from Nigerians should have been the ones coming from South Africans, because South Africans have been through almost, and I say almost, close enough to the things that African Americans have been to, just not as long, because again, the apartheid, was there and then it was over,
But other than that, I love you guys. Like, I'm always watching Housewives. I'm always watching basketball.
Very demure. She speaks very demure, very thoughtful, very mindful.
So just the culture, the entertainment, media, you like, okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Tell me your name, please.
Yeah, Louis from South Africa, Johannesburg.
Johannesburg, South Africa. Okay, and what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
I think the first word that comes to mind is what? Excellence.
Excellence.
Black excellence. That's the first thing that came to this guy's mind. Black excellence.
Okay.
Like, I mean, the music culture is pervasive, it's influential, it's uplifting, and that's me experiencing it from over here. Perhaps from where a Black American is in the U.S., it's groundbreaking, it's life-changing, it's industrious, they're creating something out of nothing.
Well, thank you. So have you ever had any interactions with Black Americans? Have any personal?
I was really young when I went to the U.S.
You were really young? You've been to America?
D.C. a long time ago.
D.C.?
My mom was working out there for like a really long time, back and forth. And out of D.C., Boston. She went to school in Harvard, actually.
So you have some experience in America.
Yeah, firsthand.
What were your experiences while you were living in America?
Oh, fast.
Fast?
Very fast-paced.
He said fast. Were you in New York? He did say D.C. D.C. is not that fast-paced. I would think you were in New York. Because in New York, man, nobody has time for you. Hey, I'm walking over here.
Okay.
Very impersonal in a sense. but the music and the sport keep a sense of community as well.
Music and sports,
basketball is a big thing for me, so the basketball was really there. The music was a big thing as well. The 90s hip hop is very different, so.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. First, tell me your names, where you're from. Are you from South Africa originally?
Yeah.
Okay. Born and raised. Okay, what part of South Africa?
Mpumalanga.
Okay, I wouldn't.
Guys, if you're watching and you have not subscribed, I beg you in the name of God, subscribe now. Subscribe and go and like, and then you come back. The video will still be here, but continue. We're just trying to
know where that is. That's okay. I'm sure my viewers would. So the question is, what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
I don't have a problem with them. I think they're okay.
Okay. So what do you have a favorite music
just okay? They're just okay.
Artist, a Black American music artist, or?
Yeah, probably all.
Who?
Rihanna.
Rihanna? Oh, y'all killing me. One person said Drake. He's from Canada. Rihanna is from Barbados. She is not Black American.
Is it? Oh. Okay.
But I love Rihanna, so that's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now you. What are your thoughts on Black?
You look gorgeous today. Come on.
What are your thoughts about Black?
See, and again, it took me a while to also learn that Rihanna was not born in America. She's from Barbados, but the person that said Drake was just ridiculous.
American.
Nothing much. We're black. We love black. That's all.
Now, have you had any interactions with any Black Americans here?
No.
Come here? No? Allow me your first Black American you run into?
Are you? I can hear by the accent.
Well, give me the mic. I'm done with y'all.
I'm Miranda. I'm from Alex.
Okay. Alexandria?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So, what are your thoughts about Black Americans? Have you had any interactions with any Black Americans? No? I'm your first Black American?
Yes.
So what do you think about the music?
Yes. These are the people that are giving us that, that accent that people make and do in the movies for Africans. This is it right here. Yes. That's typical in South Africa.
Culture or anything?
The culture is very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, really
so what have you heard about Black Americans from the media? Like, have you heard good things or bad things? Bad things? Yes. What kind of bad things?
They are very violent people.
Do I look violent?
No.
I'm just kidding.
I just think they're very violent.
See, this is the problem with the media and the movies, and I keep saying this, like, Black people should be more mindful about the kind of roles that they accept to play in the movies all the time. Because growing up, that's when we watched, for example, when I watched Chinese karate movies, right? We believed that the Jackie Chan was a hero because that's all he played. That same logic applies to every other thing you watch. Every movie that I watched, Black people were always in jail doing drugs, always killing each other. That was what we saw in the movies, and that's what you kind of grew up to believe, right? And until they stop doing that and diversifying the bad roles, bringing some DEI into the terrible roles, having some white crackheads and some drug dealers in suits and, changing the narrative. A lot of Africans will keep feeling this way because they don't know. She's never been out of her country. All she's seen is in the movies or in the media, and that's what she's seen, right? All she's seen is negativity, and it's left on, us to change the narrative and bridge the gap, like they were saying.
Well, I'm so sorry that's the portrayal that you have of Black Americans because of the media. But hopefully I can change that narrative. I don't think I come off too vicious to you, do I?
But then again, people are individuals, right? Like, you can walk into a village of cannibals and you meet a nice cannibal. It doesn't mean they're not cannibals in that village. It just meant you walked into a nice one. So I wouldn't use that as I guess an argument to be like, oh yeah, no, we're nice and whatever. I just choose to treat people based on their individual characteristics rather than treat them based on a group that they belong to or come from. Because again, if you do that and blanket everybody into whatever group they originate from, it becomes a problem. So I treat everybody on an individual basis. There are some Black people that I absolutely do not like. There are some white people that I absolutely do not like. There are some Africans that I absolutely do not like. Some Cameroonians, where I come from, that I don't like. It's just what it is. Their personalities. So this generalization is what causes all these problems. because it leads to stereotypes, and stereotypes leads to discrimination and so on and so forth, prejudice and all of that.
Thank you so much. Okay. So first, tell me your name and where you're from.
I'm Nelson Kaka. I'm from here in Alexandra Township.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
I think Black Americans, they are very friendly.
Okay.
And they represent the Black American people all over the country.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Are you just saying that?
Much, I appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome.
My name is Amanda. I'm from South Africa.
What part of South Africa?
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg,
Around
okay.
Soweto.
Okay. What are your thoughts about Black Americans?
Their music, their lifestyle, the food, the burritos, if I'm not mistaken.
Burritos? Oh,
That's not African American. I don't know where that kind of laugh came from, but that's not African American. Burritos and Mexican. Are they Mexican? Okay, I'm just gonna say Hispanic because I don't know if they're actually Mexican or not. I think they are, right? They're from Mexico. Yeah. Oh, whew. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say Hispanic.
Well, it's probably more of a Mexican. Comes from Mexico, but that's okay. So you love the culture and the food, pretty much. Have you ever had any personal interactions with Black Americans? No. Okay. All right, well, thank you so much. Your name?
Zivanai.
Zivanai.
Yes.
I really love that name, Zivanai.
Zivanai. Sounds like River Nile. What's the longest river in Africa? River Nile.
Yes, which means let's know each other.
Oh, no, I don't. You know what? All right, so if you could tell me, what are your thoughts about Black Americans?
I can't say bad because Black Americans, when they come here, we always receive them. I find them very friendly. Very, very friendly. That's what I can say for now. When we discuss, you can hear we discuss very progressive things, and they are very good people regarding they support black every time. Black people every time.
So you've had good experiences with Black Americans when you met them?
Yeah, definitely. I've met a lot of Black Americans since I've been an Uber driver.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
A lot of them, and some of them they even say they don't want to get other Ubers except you.
Do you have a favorite Black American artist?
Yes, I do. But you see, as I'm old now.
Oh, who was it?
Don Williams.
John Williams?
Yeah, Don Williams.
Don Williams. Okay, I have to ask my mom and them about Don Williams.
Yeah.
How long have you been here in South Africa?
Since 2005.
2005? You're originally from Zimbabwe?
Yes, I'm from Zimbabwe.
Okay. Thank you so much for...
This guy seems very experienced in his Ubering. He seems to be very experienced. He has probably met a lot of African Americans that have come through. But while I'm looking for the next video, drop in the comments what you think about this topic. What do you think? Do you think that Africans do hate black people, or this is just a misunderstanding? And while I try to load the next video, because I need to see, let's look at yeah, okay, I'm going to do this one. Africans hate Americans. I'll do this one. Okay, by Idris Alba and whoever that is. Let's see why they thought nobody really hates the other person. It's all a matter of individuals, right? You can't lump people into a group just based off of, you have to treat everybody as an individual. But let's see what this next video is all about. All right, where is it at? Right there about Africans treated like SHIT in Africa. It is true up till date. Like, when I have not experienced as much discrimination in America as I experienced back in Cameroon where I grew up, and we all looked the same. We all black, but I experienced a lot more discrimination back home than here, which a lot of people are shocked when I say that, because I'm like, I grew up. I was in the English speaking part of Cameroon, and Cameroon is a majority speaking, a French speaking country, and just primarily growing up there, I was already being discriminated against based on the language that I spoke, the tribe that I was from. You couldn't get certain jobs. You walk into a certain office and everybody speaks French, so you have to learn French. And there's a lot of different kinds of discrimination. Human beings are inherently bad, and human beings will always find something to discriminate against each other on. So, previous one where again, a lot of people thought, I used to think that Idris Elba was African American until I heard that. And one of the South Africans in the previous video that I just showed thought Drake was African American, and the other one thought Rihanna was African American, because to a lot of Africans, we think anybody that is not born in Africa, any black person that is not born in Africa is African American, which is false, right? Jamaicans are not African American. The Jamaicans. Haitians are not African American. The Haitians. British Americans are British Americans. They're not African Americans, right? So, yeah, it's kind of... Here's the thing, though. A lot of Africans in Africa try to mimic the African American accent, or not just the accent, but Ebonics, AAVE. Like, a lot of young and upcoming artists. If you listen to Nasty C in South Africa, he's never been out of... He grew up in South Africa, and he raps like somebody that grew up in Baltimore, right? Because we find it cool. We back home, we find it cool. We don't find it threatening or anything like that. It's only when some Africans come over here, again, they're indoctrinated to think that, African Americans are lazy or they're just not good. The movies show them terrible side of it. Portray them as gangsters, as drug dealers, as baby daddies that leave and things like that, right? That's why they see on TV, and that's tend to believe it. A lot of older Africans cannot even distinguish between reality and TV, right? So that's what some of the costs of Sharp has ever left the country. I don't think a lot of Americans have ever left the country. I've been here few years, and I've already left the country many times. But okay. But what he was saying, yes, a lot of people, a lot of different cultures always try to copy from the African American culture. That should tell you something right there. I said it earlier. African Americans have this peculiar thing where they can take anything, no matter how mundane it is, and make it cool. It could be anything. It could be all the way from just walking, and it will just add a little thing into it. It could be anything, and they would make it cool. The grills that people wear, like, it probably used to be to like fix messed up teeth or something like that. African Americans would make it cool. Baggy jeans, they made it baggy jeans cool. We made wearing basketball shirts, into dress, casual outfits. Like, they will make anything cool. They made durags. Like, people in general, people of highly concentrated melanin, have gone through a lot, and hardship tends to trigger creativity. Hardship tends to, spice up creativity, because if you look at songs, music, the best songs are always songs that, have some kind of struggle, like Bob Marley. Think about all those people, the people that have gone through some kind of ordeals that they can write songs about, right? That's one thing that Africans and African Americans have in common. So, Pidgin English is like a broken form of English that when the colonizers came, when they were teaching English, again, it was difficult to grasp. So Pidgin English developed as a kind of like a middle ground, right? And since then, a lot of African countries that speak English also speak Pidgin English, which is like a broken version of it. There's a comment here that I really want to ignore, but I'm not going to ignore. It says something in the likes of, stop making these divisive videos for clicks. Do something good in a platform and change narrative were created. Blah, 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 blah. We have hundreds of channels mailing the same dumb videos. It's fine, bro. You don't have to watch. Like, I'm just giving my perspective on why I think that black people should get along. How is that divisive? I'm watching people people talking about why they think Africans hate black people in America, and I am coming in to disagree, to say that actually it's not true. Africans do not hate black people, and I feel like if we keep pushing that narrative, there's not going to be a chance for us to unite. And here you are in the comments, just pretty much proving the point of, So if you don't want to watch, that's fine. You can just move on. And then another comment said something about STFD. This is life. What? So you mean I get to add 2 cents to the topic? Why is it y'all act like African Americans stole something a minute you see someone? So again, here's what I already covered this before. I know you're probably not here, but there are some Africans that do not like black people. Just like there are some black people that do not like Africans, right? Human beings are inherently bad, and they're going to hate each other no matter what. But on a general scale, I just showed videos here of Nigerians and South Africans saying how being interviewed in the streets by an African American and saying how much they admire African Americans, right? So if you go and look at the minority of some of the Africans that you have come across who have treated you a certain way because of how they've been brainwashed by the media, because they grew up watching these movies that portray African Americans as gangsters, as drug dealers, not understanding that these people are playing a role in a movie to make money, or watching rap videos and seeing people doing certain things and not understanding that it's acting, and then start, being that way, and you generalize it and say that, oh, that's just Africans, then it will be the same thing like saying if an African American calls me a booty scratcher or makes fun of me for my accent or says I shoot darts and I go hunt or whatever, I should now generalize it and say that, oh, that's all African Americans. Of course it's not. Some of my best friends are African American, and some of the worst experiences I've had with human beings are also African Americans. So I'm not going to generalize and say that that's just a thing that African Americans do, right? Because again, do we have African Americans that have done terrible things? Yes. Do we have white people that have done? I mean, I don't have to go down that route. We all know, So it's such a divisive topic that when you bring it up, anybody that has a personal story or person has experienced it, firsthand, has a different perspective, and it's difficult to get them to see it the way you're seeing it.
His name is Dan Chima,
and you have not.
but our name was Chima.
So maybe you have,
but my father
had a bad experience, and now that's why it's more emotional for you. And that's something that, again, a lot of people, when you hear the word African American, and the word African, they expect you to sound a certain way, which that's not. It has nothing to do with how you speak. Like what Godfrey is saying here, he is African by birth, like his parents are Nigerian, but because he speaks the way he speaks, a lot of people will assume that he's not Nigerian, right? And so they'll think he's just pretending to be Nigerian. And it's the same thing where if an African American that went and was living in Ghana or whatever and started speaking like that, they would be like, oh yeah, you're from Ghana. So it has nothing to do with how we speak. And we're all first and foremost, we're all of African descent. Everybody that looks like this is from Africa. Everybody, but from different periods in time. So if you were taken from Africa 400 years ago, at this point you probably have a way different culture, and it's easier to identify with people that you know and the culture that you know. And that's why there's so many black Americans that don't like to be called African American, because they don't think that they really have much in connection with Africa, which I don't blame them, because again, they've never been to the continent of Africa. They don't know anything about any kind of African culture. So if they don't want to identify as African American, that's perfectly fine. Same as like me, for example, in the United States, and a United States citizen, but of African. I was born in an African country. Sometimes I do prefer to only be called African, but if people call me African American, I don't mind it at all. But I just think that it's more is more correct for me to just say I'm African.
Also,
really, Cameroonian. I barely ever use African. I use where I'm from, Cameroonian. My nationality, I'm from Cameroon. Oh, wonderful. It's not good. All right. So they stopped my stream. Oh, did they bring it back? Let me know if you guys can see me. It looks like they stopped my stream for some reason. I don't know what. I see what it is. Yeah, nah, I'm not. Okay. I'm just gonna stop that video. That video is going to cost me trouble. Oh, that video is going to cost me trouble. Let me go back to a previous video. Let's see. Let us see. What policy violations, YouTube? YouTube is not doing me well. So can you guys still hear me or no? Okay. Let me. I'll have to put a disclaimer somewhere. Hold on. I did not. This is all new to me. So thank you guys for even you're pretty much teaching me. This is all new to me. So let me see. All right. Let's see. I'll just have to end it and then restart it. All right, let me know if I am back, and if I am, maybe this was fixed, maybe. All right, I think I am back, right? Yeah, man, they don't like us. They don't like us talking about things like this. Again, anytime you start getting blocked, you just know you're hitting the money, right? Because unity is the one thing that they're afraid of, that people are afraid of, like the higher ups. And this is not even a race thing, just in general. Like people that are in charge are always afraid of the people below being united. So the moment you start passing a message that has anything to do with unity whatsoever, they try to shut you up. That's pretty much what they do. That's why when I started this live, this is the video that I started with, was this video right here. Comedy,
white people, that's why I study y'all, envy y'all. I'm envious of y'all. Y'all are a race. Y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want to do.
It's not a copyrighted video, so I started with that one. And I suspected that eventually when I get to that Shannon Sharp one, they were gonna. I'm not gonna play it again, but that was.
Y'all are free. Y'all the only race of people that could look at a wild lion and go, I can be friends with that. That's why y'all are always on when animals attack. You will never see black people on when animals attack. You might see us on when cops attack, but you will never see us on when animals attack. Y'all will do shit like tranquilize.
He said you might see us when cops attack.
Lies a lion and hold that motherfucker till he wake up. And that be heavy shit to y'all. Y'all be in the camera.
I'm just playing this video now just to kind of, get the YouTube robot off my back. So I'm surprised that they let me back right away. But
well, my partner Bob and I, we've been tracking this particular beast for quite some time. Her name is Utulu. She's 6 months old. We just shot her with 5 cc's of tetracordyline darts When she gets up, she's gonna be fucking pissed. Oh my God, Bob, you for your heart pounding. This is amazing. Oh my God, she's getting a wow. Oh, she mauled me. What an experience. The Africans don't be out there fucking with the lions.
Oh,
they
why
ask
not?
him, Mr. Matumbu, why you don't play with?
We don't mess with wildlife, and that's one of the things that I've been asked that before. When I was in the army, basic training. They were like, "Oh, so you're African, right? Like, have you ever killed a tiger, a lion? Do you guys have them like in the backyard or something?" And I started just messing with people when they ask me that, and I'll just be like, "Yeah, like you haven't." I always just mess with them. I actually had somebody ask me like, "Hey, so I heard you're from Africa, like." Have you ever had AIDS? Like somebody asked me that. And I wanted to say like no, but then I thought about it in my head. I was like, nah, I'm just going to mess with them. So I was like, yeah, a couple of times actually. And they were like, what? I'm like, yeah, we have herbs for that. Yeah.
I'm not fucking with that motherfucker. Fuck him and fuck you. That shit is not in the brochure. I'm not doing that shit. When my shift is over, I want to go home to my children. Mangulu, Mungala, and oof, 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 oof. I can't do it fucking with that. When the shit out, you better come, I will leave you in the car. Is rules. Ain't no African people here, is it?
We're right here.
Are you African?
Right here, brother. We're right here. It's all jokes. And this, again, comedians are my favorite people because they take serious issues like race, politics, and all of this, and they can make light of it, and I can have some fun with it. Like, I don't think that any comedian has ever offended me. So that's how I know they're doing it right. Like, this guy, Dave Chappelle, like, man.
Dog, my bad. I want to piss you off and you, motherfucker. You know what's fucked up? What? African people don't like black people.
See? Right
they
back
treat
to
us
the
like
same topic.
shit. They talk down to us. They think they're better than us.
Again, half true, half false. Are there some black people that think like that? Or some Africans that think like that? Yes. Are they do most Africans think like that? No. Most Africans don't even think about stuff like that at all.
And I don't understand because we from the same tribe, kind of. But they like white people, though. They treat y'all like family. As soon as y'all come around, they get excited. Excuse me, Mr. White Man. Thank you for bringing us here. We love you. Yeah, the white man. As soon as they see us, they get an attitude. Hey, how you doing? This nigga. We don't like the black man in America. Motherfucker, you don't work, you don't do shit. We don't like you, you black motherfucker. Like, who are you calling black, motherfucker?
So, the first thing I'm going to say is, one of the big things about Africans in general is they hardly hate you because of how you look or where you're from, right? It's usually about something else. If they don't like you, it's usually about something else. And secondly, we're all black, but, we have seen some people from, like, South Sudan who are, like, really, really dark, like, blue-black. However, there are some Africans that are very light-skinned, like some Ethiopians, most Egyptians, Tunisians. So, it's a give and take.
I'm brown, you midnight. Who the fuck are you calling black? Like, nigga, if you stood up against a building, you'd look like an alley. Who the fuck are you calling black? This shit is unjust. African men don't understand why when they come to America, they have a hard time getting American pussy. You can't be that aggressive with American women, especially.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that we have it difficult. In fact, in my friend's experience, somebody that I know, in their experience, they might actually have it easier.
Black women, you got to know how to talk. You got to come correct. Motherfuckers in Africa is used to having their way. They got 15 wives and shit. And African women are very obedient. They tell their women what to do. It's not even an issue. Bitch, when they come home, you...
We don't talk to our women like that. We don't curse at our women. That's not true.
I don't know why they do that. You better clean this shit from the floor. I don't. They be in the club stalking women out here. You can't even see them. They be as black as my jacket. You just see the yellow of their eyes from a distance, looking like Congo in the bush. As soon as you go buy your drink, they jump out the shadows and scare the shit out you. Bitch, what is your name? Come here. Don't run from me.
Ah, man.
You're going to be my wife. Monaya, Monaya.
He always goes there with the blow dart. And again, I've never touched a blow dart in my life. I would really want to shoot a blow dart, but if one of you can buy it for me, that would be good. So I feel like we've come to a natural ending because I feel like YouTube is already targeting me. So if whatever video I play next, they might come after me. So I might play, I don't know if you guys want to see the one where the Nigerians were talking about what they think about African Americans. Maybe that one. Or this other comedian making fun of Africans. Nah, I'm tired of comedians making fun of Africans. A lot of the jokes are the same. But so this.
Coolest name, what's your name?
David Shegun.
Amira.
I'm Jeffrey.
Mufeoluwa.
Kelvin.
Chima. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Connect.
Is anybody even still there? I feel like if there's nobody here, I might as well end it now so YouTube doesn't completely nuke my channel.
Where we create entertainment videos about Africa and the world. In today's video, we'll be asking Africans, we'll be asking Nigerians what they think about African Americans. This video is inspired by Shannon Sharp's blog, Shay featuring comedian Godfrey. We want to know your thoughts about African Americans in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Let's eat the streets of Nigeria. What do you think about African Americans? What can you say about them?
Well, African American, I think, are kind of a special breed because, for one, they cut across culture. That's the African culture and the American culture. So sometimes I think some of them sometimes kind of overdo the American thing.
You said you worked with an Igbo man and an Igbo woman in Texas, and they were like this until they heard me speaking about Yoruba and Igbo culture, and they were nice then. See, that is another thing, again, especially with Igbo people, right? Igbo men, even Yoruba men, Nigerian men in general. Like, they might seem very disinterested in you and not even wanting to know about you until you mention anything about their culture whatsoever. You mention, oh, I've been to Lagos, anything. All of a sudden, you become best friends. They like anybody that knows anything about them. I don't know why, but that's just something, it's a Nigerian thing. It's not an African thing.
Forgetting Africa is home, actually, you know. So, but generally, I think African Americans are a very cool set of people. You know, they're taking over. They're really doing well.
They're doing well. How can African Americans and Africans bridge the gap between them?
Okay, as regards bridging the gap, I think the aspect that has to do with bridging the gap is a cultural thing. So I think the African Americans need to learn or know more about the African culture, how we do.
So I disagree with this. I know I've said this before. I don't think that anybody needs to do anything. African Americans have a great culture on their own. You know, years and years of picking apart pieces from whatever culture was left over and building a great culture for themselves. If any African American wants to go down to Ghana, Nigeria, and learn the culture, that's fine. But I don't think that they have to. They need to, because the whole world is gravitating towards African American culture. The whole world is trying to learn and be like African Americans. The whole world is trying, and that's, again, I say this to some African Americans all the time. Like, you don't know what you have until somebody else is appreciating it. The whole world, if white women are trying to get braids like African Americans, trying to talk like you guys, Africans coming trying to talk like you guys in their music videos. There's a South African rapper, Nasty C. He was born in South Africa, but he raps like he was born in America. You know, back in the days of 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes, all those people, we would dress up with baggy jeans, sneakers, do-rags, and the flat hats, like just trying to be as American looking as possible. And when we say American, I mean Black American, because the Black American can make anything cool, take the most mundane things and make them cool. So I don't see the need for somebody with such a cool culture to really be worried about learning other cultures because you only have so much room. But yeah.
Things over here, then look at how they can actually integrate that into their everyday American life because that's the life they are exposed and more used to. But I think they need to know more about Africa and you know the things.
Oh, I didn't know that. There's an Igbo village in Virginia. Oh, I'm going. Oh, it's close enough to me. I'm going. And a Yoruba village in South Carolina. I'm not even Nigerian, but there's an Igbo village in Virginia. That's crazy. Nigerians are everywhere. Nigerians are like Indians. They're everywhere. Everywhere. That's crazy.
That actually hold sway here.
I know they like rap. I know they dress well. I like most of their dresses. I model some of my dresses after theirs. I know the slavery. There's a slavery. What's the word I'm looking for? Complex. You know, in the Black Americans and that Black Americans have. But I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a Black American, I don't have that. I don't see what the big deal is. You know, I feel like I can walk away from a racist comment and I won't feel hurt by.
It's easy for you to say because again, I feel like that too. I can walk away from any kind of comment, but again, my lived experience is different, right? I did not grow up in an environment where I was judged purely based on my race. Sure, did I experience discrimination growing up? Sure, but never based on my race. It was usually based on, you know, my tribe, like where I would, like, you know, the language that I speak, my last name, things like that. That's what you know, Africans usually face. Like if you go to Nigeria, Nigeria has, you know, multiple tribes, and you know, the Yoruba people, the Igbos, the Hausas, they will try to stick with one another, right? So there's always going to be discrimination because human beings are inherently bad. However, if you grew up in that kind of culture, you still don't really understand what it is, what it feels like to be discriminated against based on how you look, you know, something that you cannot control whatsoever. But yeah,
Black Americans will feel.
So, racial Creole. I was born in Cameroon, right? That's where I grew up. I was born and raised in Cameroon. It's a neighboring country to Nigeria, so you know, and Nigerian culture is very, you know, popular in Africa. So every African kind of knows a little bit about Nigeria, or a lot. I know a lot about Nigeria. I've been there.
Yeah. When the white American says nigga, they go all man. And I wonder what the whole thing is. Just a word, but yeah, okay. I get it. I know Barack Obama was a Black American.
Barack Obama was a mixed American, half in half, white half, black half.
Black American president. Yeah. Personally, I don't think there is a gap between on our side, on the African side. I don't think there's a gap because, yeah, we don't feel inferior to them. I think they have to, you know, become more welcoming. They seem to be a little bit proud, and we don't understand.
What he said? He said they seem to be a little bit proud. What does that mean? How, if you have not had any experiences with them, like you said, how do you know that? So again, you're just going off of whatever popular opinion is in your area, because I would have to live with people to know that, to have that kind of information about them.
And where it's from, you know. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Wow, okay. Yeah. So what do you think about African Americans? What do you think about them?
African Americans, I think they are pretty cool. I mean, they are African.
So Finney Rixes, we're not at an airport. You don't have to announce your exit. You can just leave. Yeah, I don't know why people do this. Like, you come to a YouTube live and you're watching, like somebody forced you. You can just skip it. Like, nobody is going to hold you, you know, down to watch it. If they have that much hate in your heart where you have to see something that you don't like, and instead of just skipping it, you're like, I'm going to go report it. That's crazy to me, that somebody at 56 years old has that much hate in your heart. I'm sorry, but if you have that much hate in your heart, you don't have that much time left. It's crazy, bro. Like, what? How? I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand. If I see something on YouTube that I don't like, I just skip it. Move on with my life. No, you are not going to like everything that you see on YouTube. And it's a very American thing that people are so entitled that they think that they need to like everything. No, I need to say the things that you like. I don't know you. Whoever finished Rix's, I don't know you. And I don't have to say things that you like. I have the right to my own opinion. This is my channel. Oh, yeah. Fulani, Bamileke. Yep, the Bamileke tribe. The Bamilikes are like the Igbos of Cameroon. The Bamilikes are very business oriented. They're like Igbo people too. They like to invest and do business and things like that. There's Fulani. They're like the Hausas too from Nigeria. And about 250 different ethnic groups or tribes in Cameroon, and they have their own languages. So I can't name 20. So, and I was born in Cameroon, so yeah. I mean, I could if I really thought about it, but I still.
And I went to America now.
Obviously, like maybe they are descendants.
Yeah, and they've been there for a while. I think they are pretty cool. You know, they like a lot of African things, and they are cool. Yeah, I think they are cool.
They are cool. Okay, what about you? What do you think about African Americans?
Like I've seen quite a number of them. I'm not seen, but maybe movies and they're depicted in a particular way.
What kind of way?
Yeah, what kind of way? I mean, we don't have to ask. We've all seen the movies, and it's really pathetic how these movie Hollywood people keep doing it, where they take certain parts and they're like, oh, let's give it to a black person. And it keeps portraying these things, these false stereotypes, and pushing them to the rest of the world to see.
Accent, you know them by their accent. Yes, the way they speak is different from typical Americans. I don't know much about their origin or anything, but there are lots of them that are in over there.
How can African Americans and Africans bridge the gap between them?
I think there has to be a lot of understanding, and so there's this thing of discrimination in America, maybe for African Americans or for Africans.
Maybe.
But I think we're really
it does exist. It's not a maybe. It exists. It's just it might not be as big of an issue as it used to be, maybe 30, 40 years ago. Of course, but that's same everywhere in South Africa. You can't say that South Africa completely got rid of it. But again, it's so much better. It's not what it was 50, 60 years ago. And we know that it's going to keep getting better, obviously. But,
working on it. Now, culture these days, people are talking about the fact that Black Lives Matter and all of that. So let's just keep it up. Let's keep up the unity and saying that we're all one. We're just humans, irrespective of the color of our skin.
Good. Okay, what about you? How can we bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans?
For the African Americans, a lot of them grew up in that society, and they include people in diaspora, people living over there. So they grew up in that society. It's going to be very difficult for them to relate to this society.
That is very true, and that's true about anybody. It's going to be difficult for you to blend into something that you do not grow up with. Like it's just that's just the truth about anything, right? It's going to be very, 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 very difficult to blend in with any society whatsoever. So that's just the truth about all of it.
Also,
the African
society, and because there are some issues that are peculiar to Africans. There are some issues, so they won't be able to relate in that aspect. Well, most of them, I believe, they see themselves, that's the African Americans, see themselves as part of the American society. So in this case, developed world. So it's going to be very difficult, in my opinion.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
What do you mean by they see themselves? They do live there. They don't see themselves as. They do live in the American. They live there physically. So it's It's not a matter of them seeing themselves.
I want to add to that.
Okay.
I think they can immerse in culture more. That's if you're trying to bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans, right? They can immerse in the culture the way they do. And what is culture? Food, music, our weddings.
Anyways, I think we've had enough, really. I think that it's time for us to put this to bed tonight. Couple of people are reporting the life. I don't know why, but it's crazy to me. It's amazing to me that people just hate seeing people share their opinions. Like if it doesn't align with what you believe, you think that you should not be shared. I don't get it, but it's what it is, So I'm gonna end it just so that they don't keep reporting, and the more people report, the more the next time I do a live, nobody's going to really see it. So I'll leave here, and thank you guys for jumping in and leaving your comments, and thank you, Rich. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Olo Risha Creole. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but thank you. I hope you guys have subscribed, and I'm going to be making sure that I'll keep going live, because I feel like it's easier for me than making videos, because then I don't have to edit, and I don't really know how to edit. So like that, I mean, I know how to, but time takes a lot of time, so I just rather go live. So that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, guys, good night, and I'm going to be out.